my Discord.
I was about to
Yes,
say, I
okay.
believe we are joined by royalty.
Okay, we are joined by royalty. The associative, I think I said that correctly, producer of Busted Open, the diva of Busted Open. I can say that, right, Vanessa? Yes?
I'll allow it.
You'll allow
I'll
it?
allow it.
Gabby LaSpisa, welcome, Gabby. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm good. How are you doing?
What's up?
That's
What up?
that's Bama Dave. He not only does he call in every day to your guys' show,
Yeah.
but
I hear that voice in my sleep, guys. Okay, I hear it every day when he calls in. I knew it was him, so you don't have to tell me.
Well,
I'm,
Gabby, I have to say to you, at least you're better than Alex Metz, because when I called in Alex Metz heard my voice, he said, "Dude, shut up. Call back tomorrow."
Yes.
So,
but
I'm not that.
yeah, I'm doing fairly well. I mean, I shoveled 2 feet of snow, and I'm not asleep yet, so that's always a good thing. I didn't want to shovel. I don't have anywhere to go, but my wife
It's
did.
true. You shovel to sit back in your house, but you have to do it.
Yeah. Well, my wife had to leave the house today, so I had to shovel for her. So I'll do that.
So she does everything, and you just do the shoveling for her to go to work.
Pretty well. She had to go to work today because she was getting her COVID shot, her second dose today.
Oh, nice.
She tried to get it moved, but she couldn't, and kind of have to do that. But no, she does work from home as well. But yeah. So you're a producer on Busted Open. I don't really know what the word associative means, so I'm just gonna take that right out. I'm just gonna call you. I'm gonna call you the producer. And you're the female voice on the show, the diva, one might say.
Yes.
Do you embrace and relish having that role, being the diva?
Oh my god, of course.
Yeah.
I have to keep these guys in line. Like, this is what people don't understand. It's like dealing with boys every single minute of every day in breaks, the things that they talk about, and I have to be like, okay, guys, like, let's go. We're coming back. Like, let's bring it back together. Like, this is let's have some fun. Like, they need the female presence to kind of keep them in check, and I'm happy to do it because if I wasn't there, it would be madness, guys. You know that.
Is it easier to bring them back in after a break now during this pandemic, or was it easier when you guys were in the studio?
Oh, it was way easier in studio.
Yeah,
definitely. Depending on the people too, because Tommy was in studio every week, whereas Bully and Mark, it was more occasional that they were in studio. Tommy and Dave in studio is very hard.
I can imagine.
Keep together because they're like two teenager best friends, like brothers, talking about wrestling and like, oh, here's this action figure. Did you see this T-shirt I'm wearing today? Like, and I'll be like, all right, guys, it's been 3 minutes. We got to come back. And they just don't. They just want to talk to each other the whole time.
I can imagine. I have friends like that where if you put us in the room together, we would just talk wrestling for hours and never stay on track. But anyways, have you been a wrestling fan? Were you one growing up at a young age?
Not at all.
No.
Literally, guys, like, not at all. Like, I played soccer and basketball my whole life. Like, my whole family's about soccer. Like, I watched all sports. I grew up with brothers only, two older brothers. So I had no chance to not appreciate sports just because it was always on and I played them. But never wrestling. I knew about, like, Cena and, like, the big names. Never, ever was a wrestling fan. Never started watching wrestling until I got a job with this show. And now I watch it almost every day.
All right.
Which is crazy.
Perfect. Before I delve into that, so you're a soccer fan. Who do you support? Who's your club?
Oh, I like Barcelona because if you don't think Messi is the best in the world, then we're not friends.
He is the best in the world. That's true. I will give you that. So you didn't start watching wrestling until you joined, in my mind, the greatest wrestling talk show out there.
Of all time. Just talk show, not even wrestling, just talk show of all time.
That's true. That is true. Music.
Well, like, Pat McAfee's pretty close, but we'll continue.
That's true.
He's all right.
Have you guys had McAfee?
He could take a back seat behind a screaming toddler.
Okay.
He's fine. That's a good promo.
He does cut a decent promo. Very good heel. Would you rather be a heel or a face, Gabby?
Oh my God. I have this discussion all the time. I would be a heel any minute of the day. It's naturally, I think I'd be better at it. And I just think heels have more fun. Yeah. And I say this to Bully every time because I'm like, I get it. It's way more fun. you could tell I feel like I kind of am a little bit to the guys because someone has to be.
Yeah.
Dave is mega baby face, so.
Yes, Dave is. Dave's like the Big Show because he can go either way at any point in the show during the week. He'll agree with Bully and take more of a heelish angle on Monday. Wednesday, he's now turned.
I think Dave's a tweener.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't know. I think to his core, he's just such. I guess maybe too in person, Dave is just one of the greatest human beings ever, and he has the biggest heart of like anybody I know. So it's hard for me to ever see him as not a heel because he's just awesome, and he just loves this show and loves the nation like probably more than anything in the world. Yeah. So no matter what, you can't ever hate the guy. Yeah, and that doesn't make for a good heel.
Yeah, we've no.
Hey, streamer, can I ask her one question, and then I'll bow out until you're ready to bring us back in.
Yes, we're taking first time callers here. Bama Dave, you're live. Go.
Gabby, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Going across the board from Dave, Bully, Tommy, Ryan, and Mark, who is the most like themselves on the radio, and who is the most of a character when they're on the radio?
I honestly, and I'm not even just saying this, they are like themselves. All of them are like themselves. None of them are putting on any kind of character like for the show. Every single one of them is who you hear. Like when they do their stories, when they're like bantering, these are like how they are, which is crazy because when I first came on, I started to watch some old school stuff. Like I would watch old Bully videos from like a while ago. Like I watched that promo of him on like Aces and Eights when he like turned on like broke COVID or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, this man is gonna be the scariest man I ever worked with in my life. I'm so scared. And he's really not like that, and I don't think he comes off that way on the show either. He's just knows his shit that he's talking about. Can I say shit? I can say shit.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, cool. I can't help it. But no, I honestly, all of them are very much what you hear. And that's what I think makes the show as good as it is. You can kind of tell none of them are faking it or trying to be something that they're not. And it's pretty cool because I think that's why the show works as well as it does, because you know you're getting the real stuff that they're telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Streamer that shows her.
You wanted me to like say, oh my God, in real life, Mark is the meanest guy ever, and he just plays a nice guy on the radio.
No, what I really thought you were gonna. No, what I really thought you were gonna say is that when they go to commercial, Bully's like, man, I feel so terrible. I shouldn't have said that to that guy.
Oh no, they don't care. I mean, who's gonna mess with these guys? Let's be real. In real life, no one's gonna really mess with them, so they don't have to watch themselves too much.
That's a good question though. About all the guests, but what's your favorite day of the week?
Ooh, that's rough. That's hard because then I'm technically choosing a favorite.
Well, not really. I'm just asking you to choose your favorite day of the week.
Okay, because of the show or just in general? Well, obviously, Friday's a good day of the week because it's the weekend.
That's true. Friday is that's a good day of the week. I like Wednesdays. No, wait, yeah. Do I like Wednesdays?
Tommy days?
Yeah, I like Wednesdays.
Yeah, I like Wednesdays too.
It really too depends on, like for me, the wrestling product that I know was going to be talked about the next day. Mm-hmm. Like Monday's not normally my favorite day of the week, but after the Rumble on Sunday, I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for the show tomorrow and like hear these guys break down what just happened. And that's a Monday show because I know you're going to get some great breakdown stuff from it, you know, and you know it was a good show. So it's going to be this positive conversation about the hours of wrestling that we just watched, an emotional promo from Bianca Belair. Like, I want to hear what these guys are going to open my eyes to when it comes to opportunities for these people that I wouldn't think myself. So it really depends. But I mean, every day on Busted Open is great, I think. And Dave works every day.
Dave
and
does.
Me, so
that's right.
It's always good.
That's true. So it's funny. So you weren't a wrestling fan growing up, and then not until you got on this show. So what was your first impression? Because you obviously must have been working in the radio field. This is the field you wanted to go in, correct?
Right.
So what was your first impression when you found out you were going to be on a wrestling show?
So when I got hired for the channel. Okay. And our channel is wrestling, MMA, and boxing. all sports which I don't follow whatsoever, like compared to every sport that I do follow, none of those check the boxes. And I would say in the very beginning, I worked Busted Open, but I had to dabble kind of in everything because I was like a general associate producer for the channel. And by far, I meshed in best with Busted Open right away. Like it was just, even Dave said like initially, like who does this girl think she is? That she could just come in and like kind of get it right away. And I think I was so attracted to wrestling because the sport of it is so much more than that. Like I enjoy the emotional investment and the storylines and the personal lives of these people because there's not really anything off bounds, which is kind of cool. And you don't get that in anything else. Like for me, I'm like a reality TV junkie because I'm a girl. That's what I do. I'll watch The Housewives on Bravo. Like I don't care. It's my thing. Literally, you get that drama in pro wrestling and you get the sport of it. So it's kind of like my two favorite worlds combined. And these athletes are unbelievable. And then they're like talking smack to each other and like doing these funny promos. And it was like a match made in heaven for something I didn't know I was going to love so much because I didn't have the opportunity because I just didn't grow up loving it. It's crazy now, like 3 years later. It's literally what I watch every single week and I enjoy it. I don't just watch it for work anymore. So I think I got lucky because they do say like, you know, you never know where you'll fall in. That makes sense. And it does make sense for me now. And I wouldn't have ever guessed it if you asked me this like 5 years ago. I'd be like, absolutely not.
I think you gel. I think you said it right. I think you gel perfectly with the guys. And I think that goes to your upbringing because you said you had brothers. And I think you can hold your own with them. So
it's Jersey too.
Yeah,
it's
that's
Jersey.
true. It's true.
You can't.
Shadows of New York.
Mess with the Jersey girl.
That's right. So you said that. So I was gonna ask you, did you go back and watch old wrestling? You mentioned that. You do keep up with the current product.
Yes.
So that's phenomenal stuff that a wrestling fan was created also from the show, which is amazing. There's a lot of negativity in wrestling. I know the guys will probably talk about it every show. Really, they'll bring something up negative that the internet wrestling community have said on Twitter or something like that. But has the negativity, since you're newer, has the negativity turned you off at times where you're just like, I can't deal with the negative. I'm not even gonna. It makes you feel bad to be a wrestling fan. Sometimes it makes me feel bad to be a wrestling fan.
I do think that there is that negative stigma around it. I will say that. I think that if I do go, a lot of my friends don't follow it, I would say. And I think if I tell them like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's, and they'll be like SmackDown. I'm like, I watched that when I was like little, or, you know, what, you don't, or I get all the time, like, you don't look like a wrestling fan. What does a wrestling fan look like?
That's a
you
good
know,
point.
like what, there's a stereotype of like what a wrestling fan should be. Is this what it is? Or this is what it isn't? So I do understand like the negative stigma around it. I think it's kind of ridiculous because if you look at pro wrestling right now, look at it through like the past year, through the pandemic, we're like the one sport that, in my opinion, has like reigned supreme above everything else. Like if you're not a wrestling fan now, this is the best time to become one because of the options you have, of the TV that wrestling's on every week. What other sport can we really be like every single week? You have options of what you want to watch. You can watch it on a different channel and a network. You've got AEW. You have so many options that it's easier to become a wrestling fan now, I think, than it ever has before. And you can put your own mark on like what that fandom means. I'm not going to sit here and like go toe to toe with someone and be like, oh, I'm the biggest wrestling fan ever.
Right.
I remember when this person did this. Like, I don't know those kinds of things. But if you say, listen, watch this and give me your opinion, I will give you a good opinion on it. And I'll tell you why I liked it and why I didn't. And I guarantee you'll agree with me or disagree with me. And that you can be educated without like knowing things from years on years. So I think because the product is so fresh, it should be looked at as a positive thing where people now should want to be newer fans. It shouldn't be the stereotypical like kind of fan. Does that like make sense? It makes sense how I'm saying it. I don't know if it makes sense how it's coming out.
No, it does. And as you were talking, it made me think you're the perfect like barometer. You're a newer fan, doesn't have the old wrestling, the Attitude Era, even farther back. stuff to fall on. Like I don't like what I'm seeing on AEW because of this. You're a newer fan. Your opinion is literally your first impression, what you enjoy, what keeps you invested, and I think that's priceless. That's intangible. You can even put a price. I already said that on it, and I think that's great. That's exciting to me. What product do you prefer? Do you prefer one over the other? WWE, AEW, TNA. See, I'm still doing it. Impact,
MLW. Which is so funny because I didn't understand why people did that. That's how new I was. I was like, oh, what is that's the same? Like, what does that even mean? I don't know.
I used to be the person that said, Impact will never be, like up there until people stop saying TNA and going, oh, I mean Impact. As soon as they stop saying TNA, oh, I mean Impact, then Impact will be up there. But I'm watching it right now. It looks great. Tommy Dreamer's actually in the ring right now.
I was just watching it actually because I always watch Tommy Dreamer and I get excited.
He looks winded.
Being on his birthday when he turns 50 years old because he's ridiculous.
That's right. Yes. No surrender for the championship.
No surrender.
But yeah, so do you have a product you prefer watching over the other?
It honestly depends. I feel like it's hard because AEW, and I tell the guys this all the time because obviously Bully, Dave, these guys are all old school. So when we talk about AEW and I'm like, oh, I love that show. Like I thought that was like I like the funny little things like from the Inner Circle or I love Cody and his wife, like all the kind of stuff. They bring in Snoop. They do all these cool kinds of vignette stuff that I like, and I can't turn it off. AEW to me is like one of those things where I'm like, oh my god,
it's a live
entertains
product.
Me throughout. And I like the characters. I get invested very easily, and that's what attracts me. Now, do I know the technical terms of like why maybe this match isn't as clean in the ring? No, but when I watch NXT, I can tell that in-ring product is like insane. Rhea Ripley comes out and I'm like, holy shit, this girl is phenomenal, and the Royal Rumble I thought was amazing. So it's hard for me to like pick one or the other because I prefer things based on like categories as opposed to like one whole show. Because I know when I'm watching AEW, it's not going to be exactly what I see on NXT or like SmackDown too. Like I'm entertained the whole time. And then some days with Raw, I love it. And some days with Raw, I'm like, this was a little painful for me. But I believe that if you're invested in someone and you like really are behind them, no matter what they're doing, you're going to want to see what happens. And I have some of those people, some of those talents on every company that I'm like, I don't even care who they're fighting. Like I got to watch just because like I'm so invested in them. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's really what matters more than anything. But I watch it all. I get invested on all of it. It's bad.
Who are some of the talents you're extremely invested in?
Females or males? Because I have a few for both.
Oh, okay. I'm a female wrestler. I'm not a female wrestler. I enjoy female wrestling because my daughters watch it with me. So let's start there.
So I mean, I'm gonna sound very cliche, but obviously on WWE, I'm a big Charlotte fan. I just think that it's pretty unbelievable how good she is.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from Charlotte, I would say that people that kind of keep me hooked, Alexa Bliss has been doing a phenomenal job, like literally making me like, what is she doing? And I know this is like a shot in the dark, but I watch Billie Kay and I'm never more entertained.
She's so great.
That is somebody like I want to be my best friend that I want to hang out with every day because she takes what she's got and she like elevates it to the point where she's so unique that there's not somebody else like her, which I love.
Yep.
And then on AEW, Britt Baker to me is just above every. Like she's the girl I have to watch on AEW. I think I love everything she's doing, so I'm excited to see her tomorrow with Thunder Rosa for sure.
Yeah, that'll be good. And that's a Beach Break tomorrow. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker. That should be exciting. We had Thunder Rosa on here 50 episodes. You're actually the 100th episode of this show.
I know.
Isn't that
100
exciting?
is the best, obviously.
Bama Day had to log off early. We're doing great. Blah blah blah. Thanks for letting him ask a question. Awesome. And so who for the men draw Gabby's attention?
Well, some of them draw for other reasons as opposed to like the emotional investment. You know what I mean? Some of them you just like to watch, which you probably don't. You probably realize on the other side with like girl. Some of the guys I just like to watch when they come out, but if I'm going to talk about people that like they're coming out and I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. As much as I love Randy Orton, because I love Randy Orton, like he is must see. I'm sorry, he is ridiculous, heel wise, insane to me. Now that Edge is back, I think Raw last night you could just tell the difference.
Yeah, for sure.
On AEW, I think MJF makes me laugh so hard every time he does these little things on camera. Like I gotta watch him. And I'm trying to think. There's so many. Honestly, it's like not even fair. And then SmackDown too. I mean, you can't not love. I mean, Roman's ridiculous.
Roman's great. I'm enjoying Sami. Sami.
Yeah, and then AEW too. Like I was very impressed. I thought Jungle Boy was phenomenal last week. Like literally, I watched that match with him, and I was like, he's going to be a star in the making. Oh, and if you don't like Orange Cassidy, I don't know what you're doing.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
That's what I mean. I agree, right? Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I wish I knew at a younger age, like I could get over by doing nothing, and like that would have been the cool shtick. I would have been doing it so long ago. Right. He caught on the trend that everybody else should have known. Like he's the perfect pandemic wrestler because he's doing what we do every day now on our asses working from home, and he's getting paid for it and we're not. So he's the smartest one out of all of us, honestly.
Oh man, he is great. I know there's a lot of people out there. There's even people that watch the show, they can't stand Orange Cassidy. They can't stand that type of quote unquote comedic wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's a shame on them because they're just missing out on great entertainment. So
just let it happen, just like let yourself enjoy it. Just open yourself up to it. Like I think it's so much harder to dislike something than it is to change your mind and like it.
Yes.
Like if you're just open to like accepting it for what it is and just enjoying it, it's gonna make watching anything better because then you're like, oh, okay, like allow yourself to do it. Just like let it go because you sitting at home hating it's not gonna change it from happening. Nope. You're just gonna exhaust your energy. This is what I like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna, they're not gonna hear you on your couch like, why are you doing that? No one's listening. So you know what? Nobody just try to enjoy it because it's going to be there anyway, and you're going to be watching it because you're going to want to complain about it. So just watch it and enjoy it.
PSA, that's right. Public service announcement right there. We'll clip that and we'll highlight it. Female voice. We talked about your producer on the show. This will probably be my last wrestling question, I think, and then I got some other ones. Would you ever want to be a host on the show? I know Vanessa has said before, and I agree with this as well. There needs to be a female perspective and voice on the show. Now, don't take it the wrong way. Like you do have a voice, and your voice is heard on that show. But we're in line. We want a female host.
Yeah,
on that show.
I agree.
Is that something? But
I would love that.
Exactly. So hosting a show would be right up your alley. You would like to do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would never say no to that. That would be amazing. 100%. But I understand what you're saying too, in the sense of a female voice of someone who can contribute kind of the way that the other co-hosts do, and have had the years of experience and have maybe been in the ring before, or are legends in their own kind of way. Yeah. I think something like that even, but these kinds of things are above my pay grade, guys. Right. I don't control who's hosting, but I think the female presence on the show definitely expanding would be a very cool thing. I love being the one and only, but if it needs to expand to more, that would only make it better for me, because I am that younger generation and I'm a little bit newer. So I think expansion in general is phenomenal. Yeah. If you could get a female in there who kind of can mess around with Dave and really shake things up, why not? And if it's me, that would be amazing too. But I think that anybody could kind of get in there and really be talented enough. And the thing about Dave is he can make anything work because he knows this show better than anybody else. Like this is his baby. Yep. So he's going to know exactly which direction to take it, how to make it mesh so that it works for the entire show. And he can literally talk to anybody. That's why he's so good at what he does. So as long as it works for Dave, I'm there and I'm not going anywhere. So I'm down for it.
That'd be awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't make those decisions, guys.
No,
I'm not
well,
the boss.
we talked.
I'm only the associate producer. You gotta talk to Ed Robinson.
No, we'll leave that to the official voice of Busted Open. They can talk to Ed Robinson.
I've been around longer.
We talked to Mother Marissa about having a female perspective on there. So we'll see where that goes. But so Bad Bunny. Before you came on, we started talking about Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Vanessa pointed out to me he's huge. He's got a great Instagram following.
Like 28 million, right? Something like that.
It's like 28, 30 million. He's got over like 2 million on Twitter, and he follows no one. That's the best part.
I was just gonna say that's how you know he's a big deal. Yeah. If you have that kind of ratio, you just know it's like I give 0 Fs about anything. You can all follow me, but I don't care about any of you.
That's awesome.
That's how you know.
That's great. Now, I was like, well, maybe Gabby's the perfect person to ask. Is Bad Bunny, well, based on his numbers he is, but like, does he have songs out there? Like, should I know his songs? Is he high in pop culture? Like,
I don't really know. Like, it's so funny because we talked about this a lot on the show today. Yeah. And, you know, when he came out of Royal Rumble, I was like, oh, Bad Bunny. Like, I've heard of Bad Bunny. Like, am I too old now? Like, because I don't really know any of this stuff either. So I'm like, damn it, I'm at the end of my 20s. Like, is this like the 18-year-old, like the next generation? Like, I should be asking my friends' younger sisters. Like, I don't, obviously I looked into it and he's insanely huge and he's very big. I guess it's like the big YouTube sensation, like social media crazy, that kind of world where it's like, I don't know social, like TikTok stars and stuff. Like, that's not my specialty.
I know, I was going to ask my daughter.
That's not my generation.
I don't either.
So I think that's the mainstream generation. But we had a caller actually call in today from Puerto Rico, Angel in Puerto Rico. And he said like Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny was born in Puerto Rico. Yep. Bad Bunny is not only big in Puerto Rico, he is a mega star across the entire world. Like, he is taking over, and he's been a fan of pro wrestling since he was very, very young. So bringing him in is such a smart thing for them to do, because not only does he love being a part of wrestling, like, he will respect it if he's a fan. So I guess it's a step in the right direction. But guys, I don't know any of the songs. I don't understand any of them. I don't speak Spanish. So it's like, I feel like I'm on the outside of things. I try to enjoy it, but like, I feel like I just
we have someone in the chat said he mostly does Spanish music, so that's why we don't know him. That makes sense. I just enjoy the fact that he's living out a dream a lot of us would love to live out. Like, he gets to be on a pay-per-view. He gets to be in an angle. And
Damian Priest, who's amazing, by the way.
He's one of those guys you're invested in when they come down to the ring.
Wow, I'm actually angry I didn't say him, but he's one of my newer guys that I'm invested in. I was late to the game on Damian Priest, and now I'm very invested in Damian Priest, and I'm keeping my eye on him because I think he's gonna like shoot to the moon. Honestly,
to the moon.
He's been ridiculous this week, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes as long as they keep booking him correctly. We'll see.
Yes, I mean that's a big as long as. That's like a scary sentence. As long as they don't screw it up.
As long as they don't mess him up. As long as they don't tie their breeze. You're a big reality junkie, as you said. What's the better wrestling themed reality show? Ms. and Mrs., Total Bellas, or Total Divas?
I love Total Divas is the best.
Because that started it all, really.
And it's pretty easy. Why? You get more stories because it's more talent. You know, it's a bunch of different, they all have their own stuff going on. Whether it's Carmella and then the last season had Ronda Rousey on it. You learned all about Ronda Rousey living on the farm with her like boyfriend, and then you see her in the ring kicking ass. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Then
You're so confused.
Then she's milking cows.
But it's cool. Yeah. Total Bellas is just all about them, and then Ms. and Mrs. is very funny, but you can tell it's just very like sitcomish because Ms. and Mrs. Ms. and Maurice are just ridiculous. Yeah. So it's just funny. Whereas Divas is kind of funny, but it gets into like the real lives of them too. Yeah. And for me, I like that kind of stuff because now I watch them on my TV and I'm like, oh yeah, Carmella this whole time was like trying to hide the fact that she's dating Corey Graves, and she's like all upset. You know what I mean? Like, and now I feel like I know them because I know their secrets.
My wife enjoys watching Ms. and Mrs., but we're at that point in our life where we have children and Ms. and Miss have children, and they're going through the same ridiculous crap we went through at the same time. So that's why we relate to it now.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day, we would have enjoyed Total Divas more because we were reality junkies. I grew up in the real world there. I mean, I was a Miz fan before he was the Miz. So let's throw that out there. That's how old I am. I'm being asked in the chat, has Damian Priest replaced Wardlow?
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm being asked. I didn't come up with it.
I mean, they don't look anything alike. I don't know why that would be a replacement. Well, and I need to straighten this up for everybody. I'm not upset about Wardlow because I didn't get denied by Wardlow. He's in a relationship which nobody knew about.
That's right.
So it's almost like a count. It's just like a DQ. You know what I mean? You just DQ'd because he wasn't single. It just doesn't count.
Yeah.
So I'll be fine. Did Damian Priest replace him? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he what happens to him next. Like you said, we'll see how they book him, and I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, you got DQ'd in the Wardlow match, and you're gonna go another angle somewhere, and
DQ'd, not me. He DQ'd.
He did.
He's the one who lost out.
That's
not
right.
me.
We'll revisit it down the line, WrestleMania season.
That's what Dave said.
Dave said what he said.
Yeah, Dave's like my best friend. People don't realize like I talk to Dave like every day.
I've had Dave on this show a couple times, and I also helped him. Well, I didn't help him. I talked to him about some other things with an independent company in New Jersey, Synergy, and whatnot. And I'm like texting him, okay, and he's like, "Don't text me. Just call me. You gotta call me."
Always.
I gotta get up. I call Dave, and oh, my daughter would say you're flexing. My daughter just would say, "You're flexing here, Dad. Don't flex." Okay. So I'm not flexing. I'm just trying to tell a story. So I called Dave, and you get him on the phone, and it is like talking to a friend. Like I felt I was friends with Dave, and he talks, and I'm just like, okay, all right, well, that's what I want to let you know about Tony Deppen, and all right, well, I gotta go, Dave. Enjoy the house.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. Okay, so I called him.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
Canada.
did too. Yeah.
Right. So I have to call him, and it's long distance, and so I'm like, "Oh, you want to do the show? Okay, cool. Can you do it at this day at this time? Okay, bye, Dave." And then he just keeps talking. I'm like, "Dude, this is costing me money."
He is the greatest. I say it all the time. Like people, what you hear from Dave is he's the best. He is such a pleasure. I'm so lucky to work with him every day. It's so lame to say because everyone's like, "Oh, I have the best job. I'm so grateful." Like I am so grateful to work with that man every day because I learned so much from him, and he just like cares so much about people that it's such a rare thing to find, especially in the radio business, because a lot of hosts are not that way, and Dave just is. So very, very lucky, and we're lucky to have him as our fearless leader. He's so funny because when I first approached him to be on this show a long time ago, before I even had a name for the show, I was like, yeah, Dave, I do it through Skype. And he had no idea what Skype was. Oh. I was like, don't worry, Dave, I can talk you through it. He had no idea. He's like, I'll ask my daughter. He never got around to it. So I let it go. Then I reached out to him again. He still didn't know what Skype was. I tried to explain to him how to do it. And then finally, I gave in and said, you know what, Dave? I want you on the show so bad. Yeah. I'll figure out a way for you to call in. Like, literally, you could just call on your phone. So I did all this technical work, used a Google Voice, created a Google Voice number just for Dave, figured out how to pipe it in and talk to him, had him call in. It was a great show. He wasn't on video, so we used the La Greca head instead, and we talked to him. It was great. And I'm like, so then the next time we had him on, I'm like, look how far you made it, Dave. You didn't know how to use Skype. You only called in. Now you're on Zoom. Now you're doing cameos. Look at you, man. I'm so proud of you. It's come so far.
He has come so far. But you're great, Gabby. Your opinions are great. Divas on Divas is great. Oh, let me know. I gotta know this before we hand the mic to you and you put yourself over. You do the Divas on Divas. Not recently has it occurred, but before, someone would always ask about Devon.
Yes.
On Rousey's farm, I believe that was the rib. Something about Devon. What's Devon doing? Is Devon milking the cows? Where's Devon? Blah blah blah. What? I don't watch the show. Is Devon on the show?
No. No. Tommy started this evil thing. Okay.
Okay.
And this is where Tommy Dreamer. So when we were in studio, Diva on Divas was Wednesdays. But that's because Total Divas was on Tuesdays.
Right.
So
Okay.
every Wednesday,
Devon.
Tommy had the thing to say, is Devon getting the tables?
I get it.
And it was never funny, guys.
No.
But Tommy and Dave thought it was hilarious
they're children.
because he would cut me off to say it every single show. Mind you, doing a show in studio with Tommy, like when I had a segment, Tommy would literally use my segment to eat. Like he would legitimately be sitting in the chair, eating a banana with a plastic knife, dipping it in the peanut butter and spreading it on the banana and eating it, staring at me. And I would just have to be like, when is he going to stop chewing to ask me about Devon? Because this is what's about to happen every single time. So I think literally Devon was in like one shot where they were backstage on Total Divas. And I was like, oh yeah, it was funny. Like Devon was in it. Ever since I said that, now every single time Tommy takes, oh, did Devon get the tables? Like, no, it's not funny. It wasn't funny the first time. But now, thank goodness, it's on Fridays because Total Bells is on Thursdays. And Mark Henry never interrupts me. He's a gem of a human being. And that Tommy Dreamer does not get to say it to me anymore.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I bring it back to Wednesdays.
I was like,
that was why that happened.
I was like, what am I missing? I should be watching this.
You should watch it anyway, though. It is actually good. I don't just put it over because, like, I talk about it.
Yeah.
It's put it over. I know. I just used your title.
There you go.
In a sentence, so I know that's pretty special for you.
It is.
But
we already we're already highlighting it.
I'm already highlighting it for you. I already said it. But
it's
honestly, it's awesome, and that's the stuff that makes me a fan is because everyone can talk as much as they want on social media about these wrestlers and like what they're doing and why they don't like them, whatever. But when you see them as real people and like these people love the business as much as you do and they're in there working their asses off, it kind of makes you respect it a little more. Maybe that's why I'm a little more positive about it because I see them for their actual human selves and the things I see on like the reality side. So if you have a hard time doing that, watch the reality side of it. I'm telling you, you'll look at them differently on TV. It's pretty cool.
Excellent. Vanessa, is there anything, did we miss anything in our notes? Anything you want to add?
No, I do. Like, how do you get your foot through the door in radio?
Oh, that's right. I did forget that one. Damn
it. I mean, it's a lot of hard work and it's honestly a lot of luck too, I would say. I mean, for me, I'll just use myself because that's kind of the only example I can give. I 5 years ago interned at SiriusXM for Hip Hop Nation, like a music channel, literally. Nothing about sports, nothing. And I just kind of, while I interviewed there, made myself known to everybody there, like introduced myself to everybody, was like super friendly to everybody. And this is while I was in college to get my broadcast journalism degree. That's what I studied. So I just kind of tried to make a mark for myself anywhere I wanted. And I think I interviewed Marissa. She was like my 4th interview there. And I knew it was a combat sports channel. I knew nothing about it. And I was like, I'm just going to keep interviewing. You know, you just got to keep doing it. And we hit it off on a Friday. I remember we had like an hour and a half interview and I got the call on Monday. They were like, she loves you. You're in. So it honestly depends on, I think it was like, it's right place at right time, but don't stop and don't ever think you shouldn't like interview for something. I say this to everybody because I almost didn't interview. I was almost like, I don't know anything about combat sports. Why would I do this? Like, I don't even know if I want that. You never know where you can go from one little starting point. And I know that's so cliche to say, but it can be the smallest little opportunity and it's whatever you make of it. Like, look at where I am now and I would not have ever guessed it. And it's 100% what you make of it and the time you put in and what you want to do. So, I mean, that's kind of the best way to get your foot in the door, but it's luck too. Like she could have not hired me and then this would have never happened.
You'd be on Hip Hop Nation, which don't even exist anymore.
Helpful.
That's helpful. That's helpful, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, for sure. The problem is I live in the wrong country.
Well, move to the U.S. Come on.
If they open the damn border, man.
I know that's true. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy. It's
Stupid
crazy,
pandemic.
honestly. I have always wanted to go to Canada though, because I want to learn how to ski and snowboard, and I want to go to Canada to do that.
You could
can
do
go to
that.
Colorado.
I was like, you could do that here.
That's true. I know, but I love hockey too, and Canada's
Oh,
like the
yes,
best for
yes.
hockey.
That
like,
is
I
Like, if you
love
would have said like
hockey.
you wanted to do like lacrosse or curling, then for sure I'd be like, yeah, come on up. Like,
Hockey isn't hockey like the place
Yeah,
to go?
hockey's big in Canada.
The place to go to watch like real men play hockey. They're like beasts there.
well, well, like the NHL is everywhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
like there's more teams in America than there are in Canada. Like, if you want to watch like curling, if you want to watch something, you sit and have
Yeah.
a beer and watch some curling. Like, that's a good time.
Vanessa, you're making Canada sound phenomenal for everybody that doesn't live there. Let me tell you.
It is. She is.
It's like, no, curling, no, like everyone like hates on curling because it's like it's so boring. You're just throwing rocks up and down the ice. Have you ever stepped on a curling rink?
No, because we don't do that.
It
here.
is the slickest
we don't
ice
do curling.
that you will
America.
ever find.
I'm not good on my feet, guys. I don't.
And if
like
you put a
that.
beer in our hand,
And you got to
while
put
we're
this
curling,
like special shoe on, and then you have a couple beers, and you got to try and throw a rock down the ice, and then you got to sweep.
Yeah,
Like, it's a talent, that sport.
it's a lot of work. It sounds like to me. Just
It is
it's
a
a
lot of
little
work.
too much work for me.
But then you could just chill in the back and just make fun of them and drink beer too, and it's all good.
see that sounds. Fun.
Just don't swear on the curling rink, and you're okay.
Wait.
Like,
No
don't
swearing?
You don't
Wow.
outwardly drop f-bombs. Like,
That's
you
my
can,
favorite
like,
thing to do, Vanessa.
Like-
you can
Tell
like
'em out.
silent. Yeah, but like you can like silently. Just don't yell it very loud for them to hear you.
I've
I'm
watched
from
them.
Jersey. If you tell me to do something not loud, I will do it 4 times louder on purpose, just because you told me not to. Can't help
you should
myself.
go to a lacrosse game.
Oh,
We play lacrosse here.
Oh, okay.
There's
Well, lacrosse
there's
is like
lacrosse
more
in
the
America.
Canadian sport now.
Wow, I'm learning so much,
There's-
guys.
there's
I
ma-
didn't. I came in and I thought I was gonna be about wrestling. I've never learned so much about Canada in my life. Now I'm never going.
yeah, we're like, it's called putting you over, and we do talk some wrestling, but we have learned in like the past 4 or 5 shows, we talk less about wrestling. We talk more about other stuff than wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a wrestling show that doesn't talk
Yeah.
wrestling, and we're a podcast that's not a podcast.
Yeah,
Those are our selling points.
those are our selling points. That's how we pitch our show to people. Well,
Well, it's working.
I guess. Yeah, it's good. It's 100th show.
As he's drinking his 3rd beer.
This is a gimmick. I got to do this. This is part of the gimmick, right?
Oh wow.
No, this ain't my 3rd beer, is it? No,
If
Second.
you have to ask, it's probably too many.
it's my 2nd. I've been in
Cornhole's
this.
everywhere too, Call 2K. So
What?
everyone has
Cornhole?
cornhole. Yeah, everyone has
I'm
cornhole.
phenomenal at cornhole. Phenomenal.
Oh shit! I want to bust it open. You know what?
Oh my god, we can't.
We could
bust
put
it open.
their faces on the cornhole board, like Tommy's big fat face on one of the boards.
No, you take that big Dave behind you with his mouth wide open.
throw it in. Not bully though. I don't want to put bully.
That's gonna happen now. You know that you just started that.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Maybe.
People have to be able to hang out first.
That's true.
It's true.
You could
Can't-
virtually through Zoom just be throwing random things into your laptop. Fine.
Come by to the virtual cornhole tournament. Oh yeah. So yeah, we don't talk a lot of wrestling actually, especially on the Tuesday show because Raw usually sucks. And usually
Well, it
we
was
talk
actually good last night.
I didn't. I didn't watch it because
Wow.
I've been. Oh, look. I have 3 daughters. Okay, and
I
they
didn't tell you to have 3 kids. You
That's
invited
a-
me on a wrestling show. You didn't watch the show from the night before.
No. I watched the Rumble. I was good with that, and Raw
Wow.
just my kids drove me nuts, and I went to bed early. Because if I don't go to bed early, I don't get to sleep in my bed. That's a problem. It's a
Sounds
big.
like a lot of you problems.
Could be. Could be. That's what
This
we.
now I just think that this podcast is you.
Just my
talking about
problems.
getting your issues out for the day.
Well, it's one of the reasons I even. Well, I mean, do we
It's
really?
a Festivus every day.
do we really want to talk about me? No. But yeah, I missed it. But I'll go back and watch it. eventually.
I
Somewhere.
thought it was good. Vanessa, did you watch it?
I did. I watched, but I again me problems. I have 2 little kids,
Yeah.
4 and 2, and I do like homeschooling for the 4-year-old.
Oh.
So I was in and out of 40 winks.
Interesting. I like how you say ouch. That was the first time I heard your Canadian come out.
Out.
That's my favorite thing.
Out. That's another good
Ouch.
thing about Canada. Your accents.
I was going to ask you, can you hear it? Is it very noticeable? Because some people say yes and some people say no.
I don't hear any accent out of Vanessa. Ever.
What about me? Do you hear the Jersey?
I do hear a Jersey accent out of you. But I've also been listening to you forever. Like,
yeah,
it's
true.
not new. It's not new. I've heard you.
Some people tell me it's like very bad, and I don't think I have it bad because I'm around people that I've been around my whole life
Right.
that have it so bad that I notice it. That's how you know it's bad. When I'm like, oh my God, your Jersey accent since we were 3 years old is just getting worse. Like, those are the people that are bad. So I don't think I'm that bad, but people will be like, oh no, you don't sound great. I'm like, awesome. When I get angry, it's definitely there.
See, Canada is weird because like the border, right? So most people live along the border, so you pick up the accent of the state that's closest to you. So I grew up near Ohio, Michigan, so I kind of have I pick up some of their lingo more than here. Whereas if you go further north in Canada,
yeah,
that's when the big accent and like the stuff comes out. And then if you go out east, like Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland, you have no idea what they're saying. I'm just like, sure.
Just the way you say Nova Scotia is amazing.
Right. I just heard it too
So
in Newfoundland. I just heard it with Newfoundland. Now that's all I'm gonna listen to from now on. Yeah. Just watch Trailer Park Boys on Netflix. That'll tell you everything you need to know about Canada.
Letterkenny.
I prefer Trailer Park Boys.
The only way I knew Canadians was how they resemble them in South Park because that's I know. So that's why I'm like, oh, every time I hear Canadians, I'm like, oh, Canada's on strike because that's like my favorite South Park episode. Yes, I love South Park. I know it's ridiculous, but
that is a
people
great.
Don't believe it. I love South Park. I just think it's amazing.
That is a great.
South Park is great.
Great song. Oh man. Now I'm gonna have to go watch that song. I'm gonna have to YouTube that song after the show. I'd play it now.
We're running really late, and I feel because Gabby's gonna have to get up to go to work tomorrow, and I kind of feel that.
We'll let her go.
It's Wednesday tomorrow.
Fun day. Tommy, fun size Tommy day. No, Tommy is Tommy on Wednesdays. He missed a couple
Wednesdays, dude. You can ask me.
He missed a couple. Wednesdays.
Last week he wasn't.
They just switched. They had to switch, but
that's all.
He's got to switch. Okay. He'll be there this Wednesday because he's doing the Impact presser on Thursday.
That's right.
Yes.
So, okay.
I can't wait to see him on the 13th on his birthday.
It will be fun. I hope he wins it.
I hope he beats Rich Swann's ass.
Well, they both got their ass kicked tonight, but
I couldn't watch it. I was here.
Oh.
You ruined it for me.
Oh, I have a sweet setup down here. Everything's on.
So you're barely paying attention to me and you're watching wrestling, but then the wrestling we should be talking about you didn't watch.
I didn't watch that. No, I didn't watch that.
Even when he does have it all on and you go to watch like on Thursdays and we talk
Thursdays are good.
We talk like AEW, NXT. He's like, oh, I missed that on NXT. I was watching AEW.
Oh my god!
Like it's just back and forth.
I put them both on, and whatever, suits my fancy. I just turn the volume up like this. Oh, I just do that, and that's how I watch it.
That's a terrible system.
It is a terrible system. I know.
It's really bad.
I'm failing. I'm failing at life. It's okay. I've been struggling. Thanks, Gabby. Been struggling. It's the same thing every single day since March 13th, which was a Friday, by the way. I've been stuck in this house. I'll leave my stupid job.
So have we. I think my last day in the office was like March 12th.
Oh gosh.
Wednesday was my last day.
But Vanessa is right, and I need to listen to Vanessa more. We all should listen to women more. I'm going to put that out there. Gabby, you've been a pleasure to have on our 100th show. I'm going to give you the mic now. You can put over anything you want. You can let us know whatever you want. Social media, Instagram, anything you want. The floor is yours.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes.
All right. So as you know, I am the AP of Busted Open, and I am the diva of Busted Open. Rightfully so, because I'm the only female. And if you like anything you heard today, any of my opinions on anything, I like to tweet during all the shows. I'm very funny. I live tweeted about my family most recently. If you want to hear about anything cool going on, you can follow my Instagram at Gift of Gab SXM because of SiriusXM. You should follow it because I'm pretty awesome. And if you don't, you're missing out. I don't know about you guys, but you are. You can also follow my Oh, that was my Twitter.
I was gonna say that's your Twitter.
Oh, I already screwed it up because you're talking to me, and now I'm singing the Canadian song in my head.
It's all right. We'll edit it and post. It's fine.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding. We're live. That's a gimmick.
Right,
That's our gimmick. And we just always say that to make the people feel better. I actually never edit it in post. It's so much work.
I'm sure you get a lot of repeat guests on this show.
Thunder Rose has been on twice.
Very great.
Dave's been on twice.
It's Dave.
We don't tell people. Sometimes we don't tell them they're live. It works out much better.
I think being live is way better.
It is. It's way better.
You get the real takes of everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone thought I was.
People think it's a podcast, so then they think it's tape.
Yeah.
But then that's why we're a podcast. It's not podcast.
So like, I'll say, oh, goodbye, have a great night, and I'll leave. I'll switch the scene, on the live feed, and they're like, "Am I good? Can I go?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. We're live. You want to go or not? I don't care."
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Now everyone that thought I was perfect knows that I'm not perfect because I just screwed up my own plugs because I don't even plug myself enough. So Gift of Gab SXM is my Twitter, and I do fun stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
I got that one right. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. My Instagram is Gab LaSpisa, GABLAS.
That's Mike is heart.
SA. He's giving me heart now. He loves my Instagram and he loves my Twitter. Fun fact: my last name LaSpisa means to shop in Italian.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's LaSpesa, but it got changed when my grandfather came here as an immigrant, which is what everybody wanted to know about my life, obviously. But yeah, I'm pretty awesome. I might be a new fan, guys, but I love talking about wrestling, and I love Busted Open, and I post a lot of stuff. So if you ever, I try to communicate with everybody as much as possible. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to plug. Busted Open is my life, and now pro wrestling is my life, and I have all you guys to blame for it. So thanks a lot.
Well, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Just know, even the best fall down sometimes, so it's okay if we mess up.
I fell, but I was wearing like 8-inch heels, so that's why. That's what happened. Now I had to take my heels off and come down to the level of you guys and like hang out.
It's all right. We're not.
But then you can take the heels off and you can bring the finger out, and you still got the attitude, and you still look good. Yes. So it's all that matters.
Well, thanks. I try. This is the latest I've ever stayed up with like a shirt on that wasn't a t-shirt going to sleep.
Are you? I know Vanessa's gonna kill me. Are you participating in the Wrestlemania T-shirt gimmick that they're all doing? You have wrestling T-shirts.
I don't have enough T-shirts.
I think Dave.
Then you count back from when WrestleMania is, and that's when you start.
Yeah, I don't have enough wrestling. I don't have enough wrestling T-shirts. I have literally like maybe 5. If you count a Dave LaGreca on the Dave LaGreca girl shirt as a wrestling T-shirt. No, I have that, and I have 2 Tommy Dreamer T-shirts. I think I have 3.
Well,
I know, guys.
That's all you need.
It's okay.
I'm slacking. I could wear the same 3 shirts every day.
Just during the show, just show off. Here's what you do. Just tweet a picture out of you wearing the shirt, and then just take it. Just put it away. Just keep doing that. I'm sure.
Like a different picture, so just different pictures instead of different shirts.
Get what's his face? What's the guy's name that does all the photoshops?
Rodney Garza.
Yeah, Rodney Garza. Just take like one photo of yourself standing in a perfect Photoshop pose, and just have Rodney Garza help you get all the shirts. He'll put a different shirt on you from now till next year's WrestleMania. Not even this year.
I could just wear a plain white T-shirt and print out pictures of wrestlers
every single
day.
you go.
Just post it. That's what I did with Wardlow. I just ripped a Wardlow freaking piece of paper.
Would you
'Cause I
print
don't
it?
have an 8x10 of Wardlow. I'm not crazy.
Okay. You printed it out. And then
I
just ripped
printed
it.
out a picture and I was like, whatever. Just gonna
That was
print out
good.
a picture and rip his face.
That was the best angle Wardlow's been in all year.
Yes, I know. I put him over more than he has himself. What are you
Sure
gonna do?
did. Vanessa didn't like that spot with Wardlow. She thought he gave away too much business.
I did. I was not impressed. But anyways.
but anyways,
I don't want to know about MJF. I don't want to know about him. I want to know that he is a prick, and that's the end of it.
He's a funny guy. You heard Gabby say she laughs every time she sees him. He's a funny guy.
He's ridiculous.
I know, but it's like dynastic funny.
Oh,
yeah, that's a big word for me.
So like in MLW, he was in Dynasty with Richard Holiday and Alexander Hammerstone.
Okay.
And so everything is dynastic. So it's like over the top good.
See, you did an old school wrestling thing on me and I didn't know that.
It's still going on. Dynasty's still a thing, I think.
Yeah, it is. Sort of. All right,
Sort
let's let her out of here. Who's on the show tomorrow? Anyone? Besides, you, Tommy, Ed, Dave, is a guest, I mean.
Oh, tomorrow? Yes. I don't know. Ed handles the guests. I don't think we have anybody tomorrow. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I don't know yet. I get a rundown.
It's all right.
Now you put me on the spot, and now if I don't promote who's on tomorrow and we have a guest, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
It's okay. We'll edit it out in post. We'll put it right in.
You're not gonna edit out shit because it's live, you wire.
Is it Eric Young?
No, I don't think so.
Well.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to say who I think we have because I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or Thursday. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. But I don't think it's anybody bigger. I would have tweeted about it. So I don't think we have a guest. So, but Tommy's definitely there tomorrow.
Is there a theme? Are we going to do a Tommy theme tomorrow? Is there be a theme like top wrestlers to wear spandex in the 80s type of theme?
No, that's a good one though. I'll write that down. That sounds like a really good idea.
Top wrestlers to wear singlets. There you go. There's a good one.
No, I think we have so much to talk about tomorrow because we got to get Tommy's take on the Rumble.
Yes.
After Impact tonight, we got to talk about it.
Yeah,
Then we got AEW tomorrow, where there was AEW people on Impact tonight,
That's
and then
correct.
you got NXT tomorrow. You got Edge. Did you see Edge tweeting that he's going to NXT tomorrow?
Well, he fears Finn Balor. He should show up. So, yes.
Who do you think Edge is going to face at WrestleMania?
I think that Edge will face Roman Reigns and Vince will get a spear versus spear, which is what he wants. I think Edge versus Balor would be interesting. Those are your two choices, in my opinion. So I don't know.
But if it's Edge versus Roman, it has to be a trilogy.
But I wanted Samoa Joe to win. So to me, Edge and Roman Reigns is a step down than Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. To me. So it's hard to say, yeah, go for Roman. It's going to be great. Because I wanted Samoa Joe to win.
See, I'm so much simpler than that. Like, I like Edge and Roman because it's clear cut.
Yeah.
Good versus good and
that-
bad.
yeah,
That's what I love.
Yeah, you're smart.
If he were to go against, if it's going to be Edge and McIntyre, who the hell do you choose? You love both guys. You can't pick.
But Edge, okay, so Edge cut the heel promo on Monday as the Rated R Superstar.
Ooh.
So if you haven't seen some of his Rated R Superstar stuff,
I didn't watch Monday.
I did actually see some of it.
That you'll hate him.
But
I'm
his
an
comeback
Edgehead.
story is too good. I can't. His comeback story is insane. And they keep, they showed that whole vignette of his comeback story last night.
Yeah.
And the injury to coming back to winning. And, he's, what is he? He's 47 now?
I mean, he has daughters. He loves Pearl Jam. How am I supposed to hate him?
Oh my God. He hated Randy Orton. Because he said he couldn't give his daughters piggyback rides.
Yeah.
And the way he's tweeting with him and his wife, leaving each other those funny notes and stuff. I'm sorry, you can't not love Edge. I love the guy. Yeah. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I do love him, but I think that they could heal. Edge is so good at what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That true. He could flip the Rated R Superstar to the point where him versus Drew would be ridiculous, but at the same time, as Edge versus Drew is like a one-off.
Right.
Edge versus Roman, I feel they could get 3 amazing matches out of to like end a whole story, and then Edge wins it like later on down the road. Edge isn't winning at WrestleMania.
Hot take. Bad Bunny
Not
take.
happening.
That's a Bad Bunny take, if you ask me. Hot.
That's a no. Isn't it caliente?
Whatever. Whatever. Okay,
That's
Gabby.
my Spanish. You're welcome.
Okay,
Bad
Gabby.
Bunny, come see me.
We're going to let you go. Have yourself a wonderful night. Thanks for joining us on our 100th episode. And
Yay.
tell the guys I said hi. Vanessa, anything else? We're good?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much
Yes.
for tonight.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
guys so much for having me. I had so much fun.
Yeah, anytime.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. It's great stuff.